Okay, welcome to my first live stream on Black Nation Production. What we are going to do today is do a review on the Miss Pat show, the one right here that I already did a review to. And we're going to talk about the new season that came out, season 5, if I am corrected, which I am. So let's just get into it.
With that,
I really gotta change that fucking intro.
Alright, welcome to the Black Nation channel. If you saw the title, then you know we're going to be talking about the Miss Pat.
I'm sorry. I'm so pissed that I had to do my voice like that. I hate that. Oh my gosh, I hate that so much. I am so mad that I had to do my voice like that, because the way it sounded before I added that filter on there was terrible. I probably would have got laughed at.
Show. First and foremost, just let me say this, that this is my opinion, this is not a fact, but I don't think that Miss Pat deserves a 8.2 on IMDb.
Cause it doesn't. What? It doesn't deserve an 8.2. And I'm going to say this throughout the video though. This is not because of the characters. Everybody played their role. The actors were great. They were great. But can I sit here and say that the Miss Pat show is a great TV show? No, I can't. Is it a good show? It's between okay and good. It's not a great show. It's not a show that you would come back and rewatch. Like, you watch it one time fully, and then after that, it's going to be months and months later before you watch it again. It doesn't deserve an 8.2. Even more recently, I found out that it was nominated 3 times at the Oscars. Why? That's crazy to me. But let's keep going.
Okay, that's just crazy. So we're putting Miss Pat in the top tier of not TV shows, but also movies. It's 8.2 if you go on IMDb, and it's 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is just crazy.
Actually, 96%. It went down a little bit, but still, 96%. Oh, I don't even see the Rotten Tomatoes score. That's crazy. That's the popcorn meter. 96%? It is not that good.
And me personally, for the Miss Pat show, it's not a rewatchable show.
Exactly what I said.
Quite frankly, I don't think it deserves 4 seasons. I'm happy that it got 4 seasons because, just helping out all the other black actors, because the Miss Pat show is a all black cast. You can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with that. And
I just want to address this. The reason I had to do the videos like this is because of copyright. And before, I had no other idea of how to play the full video without it being copyrighted. So I had to do it this way because I didn't want to spend the time to figure it out because the video was already done. So, yeah.
And I think that the whole cast, they did great. It was just the material and how everything was set up and all the cussing. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
Home?
Yep. Back to Plainfield, Indiana.
Oh, that's a nice city.
Well, I just moved there. I'm still getting used to it. But if you like white people, tiki torches, and duck shit, it's a nice city.
I'm looking forward to getting home. I miss my children like crazy.
They dead?
I just miss them. Don't you miss yours?
Child, I don't miss the babies by my husband or them grown-ass kids by my baby daddy.
Were you out here for work as well?
Yep. I'm a comedian. You?
I'm a geologist.
What?
A geologist. I study rocks.
Wait a minute. They get white people jobs studying rocks? I I used to sell crack rocks. You mean to tell me I'm a damn geologist? Damn.
Just point this out. That laugh track is terrible. That laugh track is terrible. Because it's not funny. Like, I'm not laughing. The setups for it are just not funny.
I'm another school shooting.
Oh, can you believe it? These poor kids are so lost.
Lady, poor kids can't afford no AR-15. That boy's a terrorist, and if he wasn't white, he'd be dead.
You really think they would have killed him if he wasn't white?
You do realize black folks don't have to play the lottery no more. You just wait till the police
So,
shoot your child.
As you can see, the Miss Pat show is the cussing, you know. And I just don't think that with a score like 8.5, I don't, like, with a score like 8.5, it does not compare to something like the Tyler Perry House of Pain. Because that's my pinnacle of the top, like, my top tier show. Because Tyler Perry House of Pain came out in 2006, and it is getting a new episode in 2025. That's the pinnacle of black TV, of black sitcoms right there. That's the pinnacle. You know, you have your Family Matters, Everybody Hates Chris. You got your Wayans brothers, you know, the Parkers. You know, you got your Martins and all that stuff, Moesha. And every last one of those that I just named, you could go back and rewatch those and enjoy your time. But with the Miss Pat show, it's very just, I think it takes itself way too seriously. Like, all those shows that I just said, are rewatchable. The Miss Pat show is not a rewatchable show. You would come back and rewatch this show after you're bored of everything else.
Exactly what I said at the beginning. I put the Tyler Perry House of Pain at the pinnacle because even in 2026, it's still got new episodes. Still has the reruns, but not like Family Matters, Wayne Brothers, Everybody Hates Chris, Martin. Those are all reruns. Tyler Perry House of Pain is still coming out with new episodes in 2026 and in 2025. So that statement just seems so clear to me. If Tyler Perry House of Pain is at the top, and on IMDb it is 4.3 out of 10, how the hell does Miss Pat beat the Tyler Perry House of Pain show when any black person will tell you the Tyler Perry House of Pain show is way more rewatchable than the Miss Pat show? And that's nothing against the Miss Pat show. It's just, I really and truly believe that it does not deserve that 8.2 out of 10 on IMDb. That's still crazy to me.
You know, and it's just, and it's really sad because with a score of 8.2, then it should be a rewatchable show. It should be a good and wholesome rewatchable show, but it's not. You know, it's not. And that goes back to that goes back to the title of the video. You know, for the Miss Pat show, I don't think it deserves the 8.2, and quite frankly, I don't think it deserves 4 seasons. Now, I'm happy that it got the 4. I'm happy that it got 4 seasons. You know, it's an all-black cast. You know, big ups to you know Black Power and empowering and all that stuff. You know, because that's why I started Black Nation, because I want to use my platform to empower black people, not
Thought my whole fucking screen just went black. Ain't that something? Scared the hell out of me.
trying to tear anybody down, but to build and you know, just to build them up and to build something that we can all use generationally. You know, but with the Miss Pat show, you know, with a score of with a Rotten Tomato score, I mean, that's hard for me to believe. That's hard for me to believe because, I mean, I had trouble watching the first season. I generally had trouble watching the first season. I did. Another gripe that I have, and another thing too about the Miss Pat show is the laugh track. The laugh track gives me secondhand embarrassment. You know, because they say a joke and the joke is not funny, and then here comes the laugh track, so it's like, oh, you should laugh at this because it's funny. You get it? That's why the laugh track is there. It gives me secondhand embarrassment because none of this is funny. You know, it's not funny. And I won't say it's just not a funny show. There were plenty of times where I did laugh. There were some moments where I did laugh.
You know what? Since y'all about to drink and turn y'all cars into weapons anyway.
Oh yeah, this one was funny. I actually did die laughing watching this because the one chick. Yeah.
Y'all should come to my comedy show tonight.
Oh, that could be fun.
I really should go home and feed my children, but as you would say, fuck them kids. So it's settled.
fuck them kids.
Parents' night out at Pat Show.
Don't do it again, bitch. I've been shot.
Your act is not congruent with our clientele.
I'm confused.
Okay, let me know if you can understand this. Look, nigga. Your shit is too ghetto for my damn club. How about that?
Meet your Uncle Tommy.
Hey, don't make me call security!
Yeah, that really wasn't that funny.
Talk to my damn sister like that. And he probably paid $400 for that when I could have got him the real one for $2.
How the hell you gonna get a real purse cheaper than a knockoff?
Because I met this chick at Panda Express. She got the hookup on everything.
You was on that Panda Express for a minute.
Well, you're a married woman. You know a lot can happen in a minute. Ain't that the truth? But look, I will go swap this one out with a
two-second guy
real one
myself.
and put it right back, and he'll never have to know. Oh, shit, put that.
Okay, so that was kind of funny.
At the show, there was some moments, but it really wasn't that often. And the laugh track just kept on coming back like, oh, this is supposed to be funny. But it really was not funny, or I'm just not getting it. Maybe, in order for me to get the funniness, I'll have to be more stupid. I gotta come to this show.
Skipping ahead.
It tries a little bit too serious. It's not funny.
back.
You know, like on the...
Serious, Pat.
I am.
Serious or gay?
I'm gay.
You serious?
Oh yeah, I remember this. I remember this episode. It was like it just doesn't fit with all the cussing. It's very different from the Tyler Perry House of Pain, where Tyler Perry House of Pain it was like levels to it, where it knew when to be funny and crack a joke, and it knew when to be serious and curse with it. Like there was levels to it. With this, it doesn't feel natural. The way Miss Pat comes in and just is cussing, but it's nothing else. You know, it's not really, it's cussing, but it's not funny. And it's like supposed to be a serious time, but it's more cussing than anything else. Like it's more ignorant than anything else, to be honest. And then the cussing really doesn't help with it, because it's supposed to be, well, you got to be serious and you can cuss, or you can be funny and make jokes. You gotta, like, you can't try to be both at the same time. It just doesn't fit for the Miss Pat show.
Do you have a problem with me being gay?
I don't.
Me neither.
Dildo. Ditto.
I got one of those.
Can we please just eat?
Why would you want to be gay?
Want to? Nobody asks to be oppressed. I was born this way.
Not according to my ultrasound.
You know what?
All right.
You better get him.
Why don't we all just take a breath, huh? And hear each other out.
I've heard enough of what she has to say.
Ashley.
No, Brandon, I'm tired of her always talking like she got some moral high ground. Like she's perfect. Do you know the mess you put us through as kids? How we had to watch Lloyd beat you and then watching you fight every woman he cheated with?
You didn't have to watch. You could have helped the bitch out. You was old enough to bite a hole on the kneecap.
And let's not even talk about the illegal stuff, like you selling drugs in front of my school.
Hell, your teacher was gonna buy that dope from somebody.
I mean, you see how it doesn't fit? The laugh track I think the laugh track makes it worse. She literally said, "You used to sell crack in front of my school." And Miss Pat says, "Well, your teacher was gonna buy it from me anyway." Laugh track. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit.
Did hide crack in our diapers.
And you shitted on my crack, so we even.
Look at that. Always a joke. No remorse.
I'm not joking. Have you ever tried to sell shitty crack?
No. Have you ever tried to smoke shitty crack? Okay. It gets all under your fingernails and then it just.
I'll save you some.
You have no right to judge what I want to do with my life. You were a horrible mother.
Is that what you...
Exactly what I was saying. It is not funny. It tries to be funny and serious, but for some reason it just doesn't work. You know, on the Tyler Perry House of Pain, they had that scene talking about Janine going to like on crack.
So some of these, I never got to read any of these. I've seen some of them. Corny writing. I suffered through 6 episodes and didn't laugh once. It's unfunny, like a Tyler Perry sitcom. As usual, they make the black lead character weak in the household. Yeah, they gotta make him weak. Tyler Perry is all about black women empowering. It's all about, you know, like black women, like the only thing that they have, like the only problem that black women have is that their man is holding them back the whole time during the movie until they get that courage. But they only get the courage when they find a new man that treats them well. It's like for Tyler Perry movies, it's all about women that don't rely on men, but it just seems she goes from one relationship to a worse relationship to a better relationship. It relies around men. It literally just relies around men. Well, my man is this way, so we broke up. We got a divorce. We broke up. He went somewhere else and got with his woman, which he already had a baby with. I found this nice, light-skinned, calm truck driver, but I still can't get over my ex-husband. It's always like that. It's just crazy. And then it says, I absolutely love this show. I love that they curse. I don't even want to read this anymore. This person is not for me. I've watched the Miss Pat show for a few years, and I've even been to one of the shows and had a great time, but the sitcom just does not do it for me. I appreciate the use of a live audience taping, and I love how each episode addresses an issue that real people actually deal with, but the rest of the show is just felt lackluster. There is a few clever jokes here and there, but most of the jokes miss the mark, and they repetitively use white people as a punching bag. I'm not one to complain about racial humor, as Miss Pat does it in her comedy, but after the 20th white person joke just in the first episode, I couldn't help but feel like the joke writing was just cheap and lazy. I am with you there. I mean, it does have. I mean, 5 out of 10. It's really not bad. For that question, I will say it does tap into what black people go through, but it does do that. But I would still say not like any of the rest of them, because the way the Miss Pat show taps into it, it doesn't tap into it like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You know, like when Will Smith was at the ATM and he saved Carlton, and he ended up getting shot. So he's in the hospital trying to get better. Carlton is feeling all sort of ways, feeling vulnerable. So he decides to get a gun. So the next time that guy shows up, he's going to shoot him. And Will ends up talking him out of it. You know, that's something that you deal with, you know, because Carlton was thinking like a YN. You know, he was thinking like a YN, an eye for an eye. You shot my cousin, so now next time I see you, I'm gonna shoot you. You know that. You know, an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. But I mean, that was better than, you know, when her daughter was fighting for something she believed in and had to go to the principal's office, and it was all about the black stereotypes and everything. And I get it, but I get what this quote is talking about. It does address some of the stuff, but I think the other black sitcoms do that a bit better. But it was trying, and I understand where it was coming from, and I got, you know, it is trying to empower black people, but like she said, the rest of the joke writing was just cheap and lazy. I completely understand that, because it did feel that way with all the cussing. Because, I mean, with good writing, you don't need too many cuss words. You just say what the fuck you need to say.
And Curtis is just cracking jokes. That works for some reason. You know what I mean? But it's like if you're gonna be serious, then be serious. If you're not going to, then you know, if you're gonna be serious, then be serious. If you're gonna be funny, then be funny. And
exactly
when they try to mix it, it just doesn't work
earlier
for this show. It just doesn't work for me. Like I could not watch the second season of this. I just couldn't. It was just so much.
Say that?
And what just makes it worse for me too is that it's only 30 minutes long, and every episode just feels long as crap. You know, it just feels so long because I just couldn't get behind it. I mean, I
and I really do understand that, because I really couldn't get behind it because one reason I couldn't get behind it is I'm 28 years old. I'm a young adult. I'm 28 years old, about to be 29. I'm 28 years old. This show did not resonate with me at all. It didn't give me any nostalgia, got me nothing, because this is my opinion, that most of the women who watch this show have to be middle-aged. At least have more than 2 kids with maybe some baby daddies or a deadbeat husband or something to watch this and actually enjoy this, because I couldn't. But it's not meant for me. I think this whole show was to talk about the problems that black people have, but also in some way empower women. Like empower women, because this is not for men. Because the whole setting, where did it take place? She was in, like, was it Minnesota or something? I forgot where she lived, where the story takes place. It just didn't make sense, because Miss Pat just seems to me the only person that doesn't fit in. Because with all the hostility that she does towards everybody, where is that hostility coming from? Like, you have a loving husband, which in the previous quote called him weak. And yeah, but he was loving, and he was trying his best. You have kids that are trying their best, but they're going to fuck up because they are kids. So you're married and have wonderful children, right? Where's all this hostility coming from? You're not a single mom trying to do this on your own, and you got badass kids running around, and you don't know how you're going to pay the bills. Where is this hostility coming from? You're in a white neighborhood, trying to do well for yourself, making sure you got a steady job, steady income. You got a loving husband who is there for you. And you have kids that are going to do dumb stuff. It's like where is this hostility coming from? It's like the only person in the Miss Pat show that doesn't fit for me is Miss Pat. Where's all this hostility coming from? You're not a single parent trying to do this by yourself. You got a man. And your kids don't cuss at you. I mean, you got one that did live in the basement, but your kids don't cuss at you. They scared of you. And you still have hostility towards them. You got to leave all that ghetto stuff behind. You in a whole nother environment. That ghetto stuff don't fly no more. You so hostile to everybody, but you're not in the same condition that you were. You're married. You got wonderful kids. Smart as hell. Well, the girl is smart. The one in the basement tries. The other one, he's getting there. Loving husband. you know. And then Tammy's just there. It's like you could just plop her in any other sitcom, she'll be fine, you know. But it's like it just doesn't fit, you know. It just doesn't fit. But maybe I would have to be a woman in middle. Maybe I would have to be a mature woman to really understand this, because I just don't get it. You know, that's what I'm saying. Okay, let's get back to these. I agree with one reviewer that the show is too stereotypical. Okay. Tough love is one thing, but cursing at your children and using the N-word is, oh my gosh, y'all, I can't read. Is typical of black people interaction with their kids and racist. If she feels that she is justified to behave that way because of her personal experience, isn't possible to demonstrate her toughness without being a poor role model for her children. A redeeming quality is they are not nearly as immature as she is. Hopefully this is true of her real children as well. Most get it from their dad, who is the most realistic role. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Growing up, my mom didn't cuss at me like this. She didn't use, you know, defensive tactics like this to scare me because of her own personal experience. And my mom went through a lot because she's a strong, courageous woman, but she didn't do that. So I don't get, you know, like the way they made her character. She's tough all around the edges, but she's in a nice neighborhood. She has a loving husband who is trying his best just like she is. And she has wonderful children who are trying their best but are going to fuck up. You don't need to be that rough around the edges. You don't. Okay, let me see. Couldn't get through the first episode. Although the show is funny, I did laugh genuinely at a decent moment of the jokes. I think I'm just over the same old storyline in a lot of these new shows. I will admit that the show has an interesting edge to it. It can do without all the cussing and the typical black/white jokes. I want to be a fan of this show and support both Pat and Tammy. However, this just feels like another show taking world issues and putting a laughing face emoji on. That's right. It's not, like I said, it does not deserve, these are perfect quotes because it does not deserve that 8.2. I mean, it did get a fifth season. It did get a fifth season now, and I'm not going to watch it, but I don't think it deserves the fifth season. I think 4 seasons of that, they should have let it, they should have let it go. Because fifth season, I don't really care about the Miss Pat show, but I'm happy that all the actors could come back and, you know, making business for it. Cause it's literally, the main characters are all black, and they do sprinkle in some white people in there, which is great, you know, which is great. I'm happy for the actors to come back and work, but the show is just not for somebody in their 20s. I need to be much older watching this.
I know other people, I know everybody, you know, is different and can watch this. I just can't. You know, I just can't.
I literally just said the same shit. Let's move forward.
You know, this was not what they were about, where, you know, it just wasn't, you know. And then the whole thing about, you know, the racism going on and all this other stuff and fighting. I'm all for black power, but it's just like, it's like they constantly contradict themselves as well. It's like, you want to fight that, like you want to fight, yeah, you know, you want to fight it. I'm all for it, you know. It's Black Nation all the way for me, you know.
Yeah, it's always gonna be Black Nation for me, because we always striving to be better than what we were. But with the Pat show, like I was trying to explain, all that, if you want to fight the change, then you got to be better than what they think you are. Because they think we're all, you know, they don't think that we're that smart. I mean, we've come a long way now, but you want to make a change and you got to prove them wrong. This cussing and all this stuff, this is proving everything that they said about us is proving it right here. With all that cussing, being tough around the edges, all that stuff, you gotta be way better. Cause I'm way better. I'm 28 years old. I don't cuss. Well, not like that. I don't cuss in front of my parents or my grandparents or nothing like that. In front of my friends, I will. But I always stay true to myself because I do have morals, and I live by them. Because that's what I do. And it is always going to be Black Nation to the day I die, because I do want to help my people eventually. I'm helping now, but I want to do so much more. But in order for me to do that, I gotta become something so much more. And I can't do that with people thinking that I'm some hoodlum that is not smart and that you know, just wants to do dumb nigga shit. I can't. I gotta be smart. I gotta hold myself to a higher standard than anyone.
I'm down with that. I'm down with uplifting Black people, you know, and so we can build something together, and you know. But then it's just like the contradiction comes in when the two main characters, Miss Pat and Tammy, are cussing like sailors, N-word this and N-word that. It's hard for people to think you're intelligent when it's just cuss words every other word. You know, or the N-word. You know, it's hard. It's really hard for you to put that, oh, I want, you know, Black power, you know, we're going to do this and rise above that, but then every other word out of your mouth is a cuss word or it's the N-word. You know, you got to project, you know, it's different. And I didn't think it really worked in here because it was mostly like Tammy and Pat were the main ones cussing like sailors, saying the N-word this. Everybody else was just chill. They were the main two that cussed all the time, used the N-word, and it just, I don't know, it's like just using the N-word all the time, it was just a lot for me, you know, because this is supposed to be a Black sitcom, you know, I don't N-word, I need cuss word, so I understand. Before, even hasn't been one Black person on any of the shows that I suggested, or any of the shows that y'all know of Black sitcoms that have just had a Black person in there cussing up a storm and saying the N-word, because it just doesn't work.
No, hell.
You know, it just doesn't work with all that cussing. You know, it just doesn't work, and that threw me off. That threw me off a lot too. That threw me off a lot too because of just all the cussing. I can't get behind everything because when I wake up and I want to watch a Black sitcom, I like to see the struggles that happen with the family. You know, I like to see the struggles that happen with the family and the hardships that Black people go through for the family and everybody to come together and figure out what they can do to help each other and how to get out of it. And they have a good time doing it. You know,
the Miss Pat show does show that, just not how I would like it, but you know, it's always something new. But it does show it. The family does come together here and there, but it's mostly about the main character. You know, it's mostly about Miss Pat. The other characters do get their episodes. I didn't watch past season 1 though, so take that with a grain of salt.
So that's the type of shows I watch. I don't watch shows with a bunch of cussing and people just saying the N-word like that. You know, I'm here to, I want to see Black people, I want to see them rise up. I don't want to see them kind of rise up and tear themselves down. You know, I want to see my Black sitcom rising up as a family. Because it just felt kind of awkward too, and I wouldn't say that Tammy and Miss Pat felt misplaced. I mean, they were just the two most loudmouths cussing all the time, while everybody else was just, like I said, just cool. Everybody else was just chilling. The kids didn't cuss. Her husband didn't cuss. Well, sometimes it was just her and Tammy. Nobody else really cussed like that, unless they were in her family, like her cousins, her auntie, you know, all that other stuff. But nobody, like, it just felt weird, you know, as a black sitcom with an all-black cast. That's what got me. With an all-black cast, you got to do all that cussing. And I get that could be just how she is or how she wanted to portray her character. Because I don't think Miss Pat is like that, you know. It's just for the TV, but
No. I don't think Miss Pat is like that. Miss Pat is a lovely lady. The show is just kind of ass to me, but Miss Pat is a lovely lady. And I do want to say this too. Before the Miss Pat show came out, I didn't know anything about Miss Pat. It's really almost like she came out of left field. Like I didn't know about any of the comedy shows she used to do, anything. Then all of a sudden, commercials on BET. The Miss Pat show is coming soon. You know, I was like, who the hell is Miss Pat? I didn't hear about her for the longest time, and all of a sudden she's on BET. It's like she came out of left field. Maybe I'm not in the right circles to know, but to me, Miss Pat came out of left field. I knew nothing about her. I know, but I do know she is a lovely lady, and this is not about the actual Miss Pat. This is about her character I didn't like. All those characters I don't like, but I'm pretty sure all the actors that play those characters are wonderful people. This is not against them. It's against their characters. And this is just an opinion.
it's just for the TV show. But it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. You know, it does not work for me.
So I didn't say anything here?
The Miss Pat show since season 4, the Pat Court. The Miss Pat settles it. You know, it's coming out with that. I'm not going to talk about that, but I just want to restate that this is just my opinion. This is not a fact. Okay, this is not a fact, but I am strong. I am very strong with my opinion. Very, you know, good. I knew nothing about Miss.
Okay, so I literally
or anything because I just happen to know her. So hopefully you enjoy the video. Leave a comment and leave a like.
So before I get done with the video, this was the second review to the video that I just did. Not that I just did. I did it like maybe 3 months ago. My whole point of this review, my whole point of doing this review is that the Miss Pat show is an okay TV show. It's not good. It's not great. It's okay. But what got me so, I wouldn't even say furious, was just, I watched the Miss Pat. Well, I watched the first season of the Miss Pat show, and I was like, for IMDb to have it on there as 8.2 is just diabolical. That's all I'm saying. It does not deserve that 8.2. Does not deserve it. But all the actors were great in it. The show is just okay. It doesn't bring me any nostalgia. It doesn't bring me anything. Not like any of the other shows like Martin or anything. But I just don't think. And then, like I said, it got nominated 3 times for a Oscar. How? If somebody could explain that to me in the comments, because I'm still wondering that myself. But thanks for watching this. Thanks for watching the video, being on the live stream with me. That's about it.